Hey everybody, and welcome back to some War Thunder. I know it's been a little while. I've been off doing some other games, well, mainly just Atlas, but I've finally gotten back into the swing of War Thunder coming into 2019, and I found a pretty decent clip. I felt it was a really good clip that I could use to show some points that I've been trying to show for a while relating to how people can improve in their playing of War Thunder. Now, if any of you watched my stream playing up through the German heavy tanks on Friday, then you'll know that I tried to give out some tips on stuff like side scraping, just basic gameplay elements, but that's kind of what I want to do with this video, and I'm going to try to break down each mistake that's made by the player in the Tiger II that I run into, and even the mistakes that I make. Although in the end I do kill him, it's just I feel it shows I can use it to break down very easily for you guys to show what mistakes you can try to avoid while playing. So let's get into this. So I was playing in the Super Pershing because I'm trying to grind up the American heavy line, just haven't finished it yet, trying to get the M103, and I still need to get the rest of my modifications for the Super Pershing. So I had gotten into this match, and I'm pushing up onto this corner, and I see this Tiger II here. So he clearly has the advantage here because he's already stopped pre-aimed, but he ends up firing, and I think he clips either the front of the turret where the extra add-on armor is, or he just clips a bad angle, something, and he ricochets. I return fire. I hit slightly low on his turret, and I also ricochet. Surprisingly not a trap shot, although I've noticed that the Tiger II-P doesn't really get shot trapped as often as it used to anymore. I don't know if that's by design on Gaijin's part, or if it's just how shell ballistics have been working, but that's not the point here. So we both mess up, but it's what the Tiger II does next that really prompted me to make this video. And I think at the time I was just going on about how stupid this guy was, but that's not entirely fair, and please don't criticize this guy too much because clearly he's just not as experienced in how to do engagements with heavy tanks. What he does is, I'll just play the clip and show you, he starts to disengage backing up, which is not bad. I'll pause it again. So it's not a bad tactic to pull back, but the thing is, he knows that I just fired, and he had fired at least a second prior to me firing. The Super Pershing has, I believe on my crew skills, about a 14-second reload, whereas a Tiger II-P on a bone stock crew has, I believe, 9.7 seconds. Now, I mentioned this in my stream a few times. If you know the basics, or just the rough estimate of what the enemy has to reload at, like let's say you're engaging like what we have here, Tiger II-P versus Super Pershing. He knows he has the faster reload than I do. He can sit there and wait until his gun is reloaded and fire at me without moving so he can get the clearest shot. But what he does is he disengages and gives me time to reload my gun. Now, the thing he does next, I really don't understand, but it's not a terrible move again. He pops smoke, which is more hurting him than helping him as far as I was concerned, but it does help him to disengage. Why he disengaged, I'm not sure, but it could just be lack of just understanding of the reload and everything, or maybe he just thought that I had a faster reload than I did. That's what I'm trying to get at. You need to learn these small little tips that will help you in the long run. So he disengages and pops smoke. Now what I do here is something that not everyone does. A lot of people start to pick up on it, but I push up here and I don't push into the smoke, because if you don't know how smoke works, they see you coming before you see them because the smoke is obscuring your view. Now in RB, I believe the scope is based off of the end of your barrel, so you can potentially poke through the smoke, but the way that smoke works in game, it's likely that you'll get shot. But as you can see, as the smoke clears, I catch a glimpse of him backing around that corner. So I push up, and then he doesn't quite back up enough, and he exposes too much of his side, and I put in a good shot and finish him off. So that's another mistake that he made on his part. He should have left his tank angled at a 45 towards where I was and kept backing up around that corner. He shouldn't have ever exposed that much of his side armor. But clearly, he is not as adept at the Tiger II. It could be his first game in the tank. Maybe he's still on a low-level crew, or he just doesn't have parts. He just doesn't want to risk getting shot more than he has to. But that's just kind of something that I wanted to bring to the attention of you guys. Like, try to learn your enemy's reload. Know your enemy like you know your own tank. Because if you know what you're facing, you will be able to come out on top basically regardless of what engagement you get into. Now, there are situations where you just probably won't be able to do anything. If you run into, say, a KV-220 in your jumbo, it's likely you are screwed unless you really know what you're doing and you can plant a shot into the gun barrel and then flank it, or some miracle you pen through the frontal plate. But that's not a very common scenario. But stuff like this, a Super Pershing versus a Tiger II-P, it's pretty common in your average game, although the Super Pershing isn't the most played because most people play the T-29, let's be honest. But my point still stands. So I hope you guys have learned a little bit from this. I'll have, if I can find more clips, or just if I have any more things that I come up with that I would like to share with you guys, I'll try to continue on with, maybe this is like a little mini series. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to check out that stream of the heavy tank line for Germany, I'll leave a link either up in the corner as a card or probably in the description as well, so you can see just some other tips that I had. Like, if you don't know what side scraping is, you can look in there. I'll probably do a video on that as well, because a lot of people don't know what it is, and it's a very, very simple thing that can save you a lot of headache when you're playing a heavy tank. So until next time, I'll catch you guys later.